How are you
Yes,
doing?
bro. Yeah, I'm doing good.
I'm
Yeah,
very sorry to
your
disturb
name
you
is like
again.
your original name is Tam Chris or what? Can I know your
So,
name?
my name is not obviously Tamgris. Tamgris is like they have a term called Tam Ram, Tamil Brahmins. So there was a
Okay,
stand-up comedian who made this term called Tamgris, Tamil
so
Christians.
it is Tamil Christians.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, like I guessed it before. It
No
could be
worries.
this. Okay, bro.
Right. Um,
Yeah,
so can you
firstly,
like
like
introduce yourself?
yeah. Firstly, like I'm born in a like Hindu family.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Uh, like graduation. It seems like I've done my BTech recently.
Oh, okay,
So
sir.
like
Yes, sir.
I'm interested in religions like other religions like again my religion like what
Yes,
is
sir.
the truth and all, and
Okay, sir.
after knowing about the other religions, especially Christianity, so like I don't find like how Christianity is different from the what we worship in Hinduism.
Okay, sir.
So I'm always curious about like what like what it is and all. So yeah,
Okay, sir.
you explain me like I've seen you in the Satyanveshi debate,
Uh, I
right?
think it has gone into some bad dimensions. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Like before this, like don't put me in like Hindu, Christian, atheist and all. Like I'm just
Okay, sir.
want to know like what it is and all. That's it.
Yes, sir. I will.
Yeah. You can explain me and you can introduce yourself.
Just a few clarifications actually. Like, where are you from actually? Not the exact place, which state or something.
Yeah, I'm from Vizag, Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, so fine. Um,
Yeah.
you were born in the Hindu family. Do you identify as Hindu, or you are agnostic, or uh, maybe atheism, full blown atheism,
Yes.
which is
Like the problem is like yeah. Like just a minute, I'll talk to you. Once, just a minute.
okay, okay. No, no, no. Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah.
Eh,
The problem with Hinduism is like there is no specific book, right? So I can refer like thousands, hundreds of books.
mm,
So I can
mm, mm,
find interesting in some books and not in some. So it's
mm,
basically a culture like thing. So yes,
mm, mm,
I'm interested in some topics and I can ignore others. So
yes,
in
sir.
that
Okay.
case, like I cannot say I'm perfectly Hindu or like that. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, sir. Fine,
Like
sir.
I am aware of the basic philosophies of all Hinduism and all.
Okay, sir.
What are the different philosophies and all
I
that.
think in the ancient Hinduism, most of the Hindus are actually atheists, right? I mean, they were not believing in a personal God. That the one that we define in Abrahamic religions. I think so, right? No?
Yeah. What can you tell me again?
But the ancient Hindu culture literature doesn't speak of a specific God, right? They don't have a specific personal God like the one in Christianity or Islam.
Yeah. Actually, like you know about Hinduism, like basic thing, like what it is, how it evolved and all.
No, actually, I'm studying about Hinduism for the past 1 year or so. I mean, one of the reasons I started this page was to study about Hinduism, actually. But I find that most of the
Yeah.
people are very
Like
interested in
I'll give you like 5 minutes brief about the Hinduism.
please go
Like
ahead. That will be great.
firstly, at the time of Buddhism, like first century, at that time, there is
Okay.
something called Vedic religion,
Yes. Okay.
right? In that religion, everything they do yagnas, pujas, and all they'll do that. There is no idol worship at all.
Oh. Okay.
So later on, Buddhism got evolved in India, and
Okay.
in that Buddhism also, Buddhism got mixed up with Hindu, like Hindus concepts and all.
Okay.
So slowly, idol worship got started in Hinduism, like in 10th century and all.
Oh, okay.
So from there are three philosophers mainly. Firstly,
Mm.
this Adi Shankaracharya is there in
Mm.
7th century,
Mm.
and after in 11th century there is Madhavacharya, where
Mm.
it is called Dvaitam concept. It is called as Dvaitam.
Yes, of course. Okay.
So Madhavacharya, Dvaitam is nothing but a relationship between God and us. So it is different. So God is a separate identity, and we are that separate identity. So we are showing
Okay,
the
sir.
love towards the God, like Christianity.
Okay. Okay. This was
Yeah,
Padacharya.
yeah,
Okay.
Madhavacharya. And
Okay.
the other is Ramanujacharya. Like recently, they established a statue in Hyderabad.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
that
No, I did not know.
they installed the second largest statue. He's
Oh, okay.
He's
Okay.
Ramanujacharya. So he is like
Okay. Okay.
Visishta Advaitam. It is like somewhat different from this.
Right. Okay.
So
How is
basically,
this
these
different
three are
from
the
the
main
previous ones?
philosophers.
How is the third one different from the previous
Yeah,
ones?
firstly Adi Shankara. Yeah, Adi Shankaracharya said right
Yes.
in 7th century. So basically, what
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
says is everything is God.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, like if we can see anything, like if we show love towards anything, then it will
Yes.
have a value, and that is God.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So from there, if we see everything is God, like it's nothing like nature worship and everything will be there, right? That is,
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Understood.
yeah. Like for a carpenter, wood is a god.
Oh, right. Okay.
For
Hmm.
a fisherman, fish is a god. Like
Yes,
in
sir.
that sense,
Hmm.
that's the philosophy. It is.
Okay, sir. Understood.
Yeah. So this is the basic thing.
Okay, fine. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like you
for
can
me,
tell me about your Christianity.
yes, sir. I will tell, sir. Uh, for me, I was actually born in a mostly agnostic family. My father was actually a Christian convert. My mother was actually a
Okay.
Hindu, but she is not very much like practicing Hindu. She doesn't know anything about actually Hinduism as such. She has not even read the scriptures, and she's just a namesake Hindu. So this is the kind of situation that I was born in, and I was not brought up in the church. I did not attend church during my childhood and all that. And during my adolescent age, as it is common in all situations, I was rebellious and I left out all of this God and stuff and all the stuff. I did not believe in any God and all that. I was agnostic. I was not exactly atheistic because I was not having the intellectual capacity to actually propose that there was no God. I said maybe there is a God or there is not a God. It is not an issue for me. That is how I was living.
Okay.
This happened during the early periods of my college days also. So at some point of time, I was having some crisis in my life, and this is usually the conversion story that usually happens. You are having some
Yes.
crisis situation, and you become a Christian or you become some religious nut job. And
Yes.
that's
Yes.
what happened to me. I became hyper religious at that time. Actually, I followed what my father was doing. My father was a good person actually, so I took his example. I just followed whatever religion he was following. I started reading the Bible and all that, and Bible did not make any sense to me at all, man. Absolutely nothing. Even today, there was a discussion with Satya, and I can clearly relate to what he is asking and saying. I do not understand anything in the Bible. Literally, starting from the beginning to end, it was very confusing. Very English was very difficult to understand. Actually, if you take the
Yes. Yes.
normal
And
King
the
James
English was
version,
too difficult.
yeah, it's very difficult. I mean, there are easier versions now available, but when I got hold of the Bible first, I got the King James version. It was very difficult to understand. Right from the beginning, there were a lot of contradictions. I mean, one part will contradict another part. I mean, I could literally not read one chapter without having 100 questions. Actually, I'm not exaggerating or something. I was finding it very difficult. So at that point of time, I felt like this is not going anywhere. I'm putting in effort. I'm not getting any results, and I felt like this is time to like let go of religion and move on. I let go of religion, and that lasted for a few years actually, 3 or 4 years, I think. I was doing my college days, and I was like, I had other things to do. I had more busy things to do, and I was not wasting time on religion. So during that time, I was exposed to something called as Christian apologetics. You would know that term, right? Like Christian apologist. these people, their job is entirely to like defend the Bible, defend Christian religion, and so on and so forth. They will.
Yeah,
Some of them
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Some of them are actually very honest people. Some of them are, especially the Indian apologists. I'm not like pointing fingers, but many of the Indian apologists, like Francis, even Sakshi apologists to some extent, they were not being very honest. They were very disingenuous. They were like abusing other people and so on. There are many debates between Muslims and Christians by Sakshi apologetics. If you listen to them, it will be like boring. Like they will be speaking against each other, name calling and all that. All this is there, but at the same time, at some point of time, I just prayed to this God that I did not believe in. I said, if you're really there, like show some evidence, show some kind of an evidence, whatever. I'm open to evidence. That's the kind of a prayer that I made. I prayed when I was an atheist actually. That is a contradiction in terms, but I get the point. So when I prayed and I was like seeking after these answers, I found that the Bible itself doesn't have all the answers for you. Like Bible doesn't claim that it has all the answers. It doesn't say it is complete book. It doesn't say it is having all the truth in it and all that. The very term called Word of God, it is a very commonly used word by pastors. It simply means that it is capable of teaching you what salvation is. That's all. It doesn't say that it has to be scientifically accurate and all that. So during the time that I was a Christian for a short period of time, I was a young Earth creationist. Have you heard of the term, young Earth creationism? Are you there?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm there. I'm listening.
It says like the world is only 6,000 years old. It was created by God literally just in 6 days and all that. Uh, that was very much contradictory to what science says, what evolution says, and literally every field, geology, archaeology, everything contradicts that particular claim that the world started only 6,000 years old. There is no truth to that, and I found that there are Christians who are like pretty scholarly people. They were studying Christianity for decades and decades, and they were very certain that the Bible doesn't say that. So this was a surprise for me. I noticed that this is a majority view. Most of the Christians, if you ask, especially Indian Christians, if you ask, they will say that the world was created just 6,000 years old. That is completely unscientific. I mean, nobody will ever accept that. But
Yeah,
these Christians will be making that as an argument and try to prove that. So I found that there were people who were honest enough, who were seeking after God, and they were getting some information that was true. So one point I would like to add here also, since you are Hindu, I don't necessarily. I mean, I make fun of Hindus in Twitter and all that, but honestly, I feel that our ancient rishis and all those people probably like had some kind of revelation from God. Many of my Christians won't accept this, but they probably had a lot of revelation from God. They knew a lot about God. They were honest people, right? I mean, they were spending a lot of time trying to seek after God, right?
yeah.
You
They're
agree on that,
spending
right?
years and years. They do
Yeah,
meditation. They do tapas.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So their understanding of
yeah.
God would be different from
Definitely.
one person to one other.
But I'm sure God would have revealed some things to them, right? God would have spoken to them. They would have understood something about this true living God and all that. Uh, so even though I disagree on many of the God definitions in the Hinduism, I feel that we are all going to end up in the same place at the end of the day. So I don't necessarily feel that all my Hindu friends are going to be going to hell. That's also
Yeah.
probably contradicting most of the Christian viewpoint, but that's what I feel.
So,
What?
like,
Yeah,
can I ask one question? Like you are identifying now as a Christian, or still
I
like
am Christian.
searching?
The thing
Okay,
is,
like till now you said many things are unscientific, and now you are saying Christian. Like,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is what the point is. The thing is, you don't need to accept every single sentence in the Bible as something fallen from heaven. The Quran is
yes,
claimed to be a word that has fallen from heaven. It is being spoken from the
yes,
mouth
yes,
of God.
yeah.
But in the case of the Bible, it is not the case. Actually, it is written by human beings within the context, uh, within a particular geographical area, within a particular context and social cultural things. The Old Testament condones slavery. Are you aware of that? You know that, right?
Yes, yes, I know that.
They allow slavery. They speak of how to practice slavery and all that. It doesn't say
Yeah,
anywhere that slavery is wrong. So you know what?
yeah.
I mean, if you take it literally, then obviously the Bible is wrong. If you are going to be a biblical literalist, then obviously the Bible supports slavery and the Bible is wrong. Morally, it is wrong.
Okay.
I don't think that is the way that you need to interpret the Bible. It has a cultural context. There was a time when it was allowed. Just give me a minute.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, just a minute. I was coughing. Okay. So the thing is, they will have a particular context and a particular purpose in each of those periods, right? Slavery was very common during that time. In the ancient world, slavery was very common. Everybody practiced. As far as I know, most of the historians agree that there was slavery in India also. Maybe you don't agree to that, but there was some kind of slavery even in
Yeah,
India and all parts of the world.
slavery would be there everywhere. However,
Yes, yes,
like
yeah,
if some person has some powers, so he could be arrogant and he can like he could not be a moral in that society, right? So he can
yes, yes,
create
yes,
slavery. So it would be there.
yes, yes. So the Bible, and when you take the Old Testament, not everything that is imputed to God, that God said this and God said that, doesn't need to mean that it was really said by God. It was like it was inferred that way. They thought it was from God. So that kind of an interpretation is something very new to me. And you can literally throw away the Old Testament, the entire Old Testament. You can throw away, and you can still be a Christian. Many of the Christians won't accept this, but that is a fact. Very scholarly Christians will accept this. The Old
Okay.
Testament can be just taken as a, but for the particular period it was available and it was useful, but you don't need to accept that now. You don't need to follow the moral laws that were given in the Old Testament. This is one thing. Second thing, there are many unscientific things in the Bible. There is no point in arguing about that. As I said, the world is 6,000 years old. That is unscientific.
Okay.
Just a minute. So back then, in 1000 BC, all the people used to believe that the world was created literally by God, right?
Yeah.
Even some of the Puranas also have this literal creation theory, like everything was literally created by God. They don't have this concept of Big Bang or anything. They did not know anything about it. When
Yeah.
God
Yeah. Yeah.
spoke to people at that time, He doesn't need to speak about quantum physics or atomic bomb and all those things. He will speak to them in their context, whatever their understanding, whatever their the thing is, he will speak in that context. Do you agree to that, or you feel that is not appropriate?
Yeah. Yeah. I can agree to that. But like one thing I couldn't understand is like on
Yeah.
what basis you are telling that you are a Christian? Like till now you are saying like there is
Hmm.
no need to accept
Hmm.
every line in the Bible, and
Yes.
you're then you agreed that we can throw the Old Testament.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, then we can also revive the New Testament, right? And now, like at this moment, we can remove those lines which are unscientific in Bible, and we can still say that this is the recent Testament, and we can claim that, right? Then,
You were saying that you can modify the text and you can
yeah,
modify
we
now
can
and say it's a
modify the
new
text
text.
and yeah,
If it is true, then you can follow it, right? Whatever is true, you can follow. Whatever is
okay,
true, whether in the Bible or the Quran or the Vedas or whichever it is, whatever you are convinced that it is true, you can follow.
okay,
So I feel, as far as my analysis is concerned, the case for Jesus Christ is very strong. As far as historical analysis is concerned, there is a lot of documentation about Jesus Christ. Within the first 2 centuries or 3 centuries itself, we have a lot of documentation about Jesus Christ. We have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and Paul, writings of Paul. And if you don't accept all of that, you can also take the writings of Tacitus, who was a Roman historian, and Josephus Flavius.
mm,
These are all, like, we can study about each of those things and we can find what they're saying. But we know historically it is quite very well accepted, widely accepted that Jesus Christ existed in the first century. We don't know the date of birth also. We don't even know when he was born actually. We don't know the date when he
yeah,
died
yeah,
also. We are not even certain about his actually birth. We
yeah,
cannot
yeah.
know about the virgin birth also. It is not historically possible for you to know how Mary was conceived. I think it's not possible for us to know that.
Like
We,
basically, if there are some great people, like these stories, like they can, so the birth will be some special for these great people, like in every
yes,
story. Like in
yes,
Hindus also, there are many Puranas.
yes, yes,
Like every hero, like every great person, in Ramayana and Mahabharat, they
yes.
like they will not born like a normal kid.
Normal scenes. Yeah.
There will be some elevation. There will be some like
Yes.
like surprising story would be there. So in
Yes,
that
yes, yes,
case
yes,
also they if like they can write like Mary is born as a virgin or something,
yes, yes.
but that could
Yeah,
not be true.
yes. During the initial times when I was Krishna, I did not even believe in the virgin birth. Actually, I did not believe that it was natural. I believe it right now. I affirm it, but I don't think it's possible to establish it in an historical sense. You cannot ask
Yeah,
an
yeah.
historian whether virgin birth happened or not. You can't do that. It's taken
Okay.
by belief. You
So
can take it by faith.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So now you're like believing that Jesus is a God, and he will be the path of a salvation. Like right now you're believing these things, right?
Yes, 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 yes. We
Okay.
claim to
Like
be a god. Yes, yes, sir.
yeah,
Carry on, sir.
like if Jesus is a as a person, like he could be there.
Yes,
No one can say that he's not there and all. Have you
yes.
heard about Shirdi Sai Baba?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I know
Yeah,
the
yeah.
old stories. Yes,
So he's a recent man, 19th century only. So he's
yes,
also
sir.
there. But
Yes, sir.
the thing is, we cannot prove anyone like he's a god or not. We cannot prove, right?
Okay, okay.
Like anyone can write stories. Like Sai Baba also done great things. So
Yes.
eventually, people started calling him God, and now there are many temples here. So we cannot prove that he's God or not, right? They will write miracles about him.
Yes,
Like one
there
thing
are
I
actually
can say, if
there are,
Jesus is born in India,
yeah,
then there would be no Christianity. I can say that because if Jesus is born in India, he would be another great saint or
yes, yes,
avatar of
yes.
Shiva, avatar
Mm,
of Vishnu.
mm, mm,
Like
mm,
somehow he will be mixed up in all this, and then there is
mm.
no nothing like Christianity wouldn't exist. Like
Yes,
this
yes,
is the
yeah,
culture
yes,
in this country where
yes,
everybody is getting mixed up,
yes, yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes, sir, yes.
and like that case, I'm saying, like how can we believe that he is God, like he's a path of salvation? Like how can, like at which point we can believe him?
Uh, as I was saying, no historical records are very clear on certain points. We don't even have to accept everything that is written in the gospel. Actually, I accept everything that is written in the gospel. I feel it is reliable. It is a long case. Actually, I can't discuss it in a short period of time. But I
Yeah,
feel that
yeah, yeah.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are good, reliable books. They're not planning to cheat the people or anything like that. But nonetheless, we have secular scholars who are atheist scholars who are non-Christians who agree on certain points in the gospel stories, which includes the birth of Jesus Christ, the baptism of Jesus Christ, the fact that he was preaching in the Judea region, and the fact that he was killed by Pontius Pilate and the other governors at the time, and that the rise of Christianity after it died off. Right, he died off, and his disciples believed that he was seen alive after death. The historians cannot say resurrection. Resurrection. They won't say the term. They cannot say that term similar to virgin birth. No, the
Okay.
miraculous claims are not going to be made by historians. They won't make that. Right? The proper self-respecting historian won't say that. So you will find Christian historians like Mike Ligona, Gary Habermas, they will be claiming resurrection, but the as a secular scholars will not say that term resurrection. What we can be certain is that Jesus Christ died on the cross, and after 3 days or whatever period of time, the disciples saw him alive after that. So it implies some kind of event that happened that made them followers of Christianity.
Yeah,
Do
like
you
the
agree on
same
that?
thing happened with Sai Baba also. He
Yes, yes,
also
yes.
like everybody thought he died. Within
Mm,
like 1 day or 2 day, he came back.
mm.
So, but
Yes, I'm
I
aware
can't
of this
believe
story. Yeah.
that. But there
No,
is a concept called Yoga Nidra in yoga, and in that spiritual terms, there is something called Yoga Nidra. So there they
okay.
can do like immense meditation. They will do like in sitting or sleeping.
Mm,
So
mm, mm,
everyone
mm, mm.
thinks
Okay.
that they will be died, but
Mm,
they will be in immense meditation, like something. The concept is there. So that's why
mm,
Baba is considered as a yogi. So he
okay.
has done some that technique, and he came back. So that is how I can believe. Okay, there could be some technique. He can be a yogi. He can be a spiritual master or something. That's it. But I cannot tell that he is God, right? But
No, yes.
like, how are you believing that he could be God? And okay, if he is a God, but there are many gods in India, right? Like and then which basis you're telling that he is the path of salvation and all?
Yes, sir. As you were saying about Sai Baba, right? He was the one of
Yeah,
Satya Sai Baba.
yeah.
Sai
No,
Baba.
no, not Satya Sai, only Sai only.
Sai Baba, Sai Baba. Now the thing
Yeah.
is that he was not crucified. If you are aware of this Roman crucifixion, they will just torture you, they will butcher you so much so that your intestines will be coming out. That is how badly they will beat you up. And we
Okay.
have the records, we have the historical records about how they torture the people. The person will not survive for more than 2 or 3 days. If you put them on the cross, they will not survive for more than 2 or 3 days. They will be so badly hurt, they will be dehydrated, they will not live for more than 2 or 3 days. They won't kill specifically on the cross. Not everyone is killed on the cross. During special times, during war times, they will kill the person. Otherwise, they will let the person be on the cross for as long as they can. They will die of starvation and dehydration. So in this case, we know that he was like tortured, he was beaten up, he was bleeding, and he was definitely like he was not doing some yogic stuff at that point. Do you agree on that point? Do you have any issues with that? To accept that point?
No, no, I don't have any problem. I don't have any issue there.
Yeah. So he was like beaten up and he was thrashed up. He was probably naked and he was like beaten up like a normal criminal. Everybody else was every other criminal, and he was put to death.
So after
So
like after punishing him, like after crucifying him, so he again like he came back alive. So that is what you are believing, right?
yes, yes, yes. The disciples claim that they saw Jesus after his death. So there are some Christians who say this is not a literal thing. I actually saw one particular clergy in Satya Anvesh's channel who was saying that she doesn't believe in the resurrection. She doesn't believe in any of the stuff in the Bible.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there are some Christians who
So
believe that also.
okay, okay. So if
So
that is the case, like it is unscientific only, right? So after punishing him to that level, he cannot come back. Like if he's a normal person,
yeah,
right?
this is why do you feel something unscientific cannot be done by God? If it is God, He can do it, right?
No, no,
Miracles
no.
are
Have yeah,
miracles
yeah.
cannot.
Look, yeah. See, for Christian, so
Hmm.
you will be having the stories of all the Bible only, right? But as a
Okay.
Hindu, like we heard of many stories. Like
Yes, 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 yes.
every story
This
will
is
be a
not a new
miracle.
story. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these stories I have heard every time, like in all the gods, in all the Puranas, everywhere. So
Yes,
how
sir. Yes,
can
sir.
I
Yes, sir.
believe that
Mm.
only that case would be true?
No.
There are
This is a question that I also
stories,
heard, sir.
right?
I mean, there are so many gods in India. Why do I need to like add one more god and waste my time on that? The thing is, I
No,
feel there
no.
is something unique.
In India, they feel like they can easily add
Mm,
another god.
mm, mm, mm,
There is no
mm,
problem. Since childhood,
mm,
I also gone to church and I will just
mm,
pray him like any
mm,
other temple, and I would have come out. That's it. But
mm,
after growing up, I've seen
mm,
the like many pastors, they'll give
mm,
speeches, right? So there,
mm.
like I don't understand like why are they more curious on only this particular if there are many
Okay, sir.
stories in
Yes,
India,
yes, 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 yes. Mm.
especially in India,
So,
not like in America and all. So they don't aware
mm,
of stories, right? But here we have many
okay, sir.
many stories. Like
No,
just a
sir.
minute,
Do
I'm
you?
having
No, okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Carry on.
hello, hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. You tell me.
You had your dinner or you yet to have your dinner?
Yeah, I have done my dinner.
Okay. Okay. So
You what about
do
you?
you follow Sai Baba?
Like this is what I'm saying is like following Sai Baba means like
No, do you
whatever
accept him
he's
as
done.
what? Do you accept him as an avatar of God or whatever saintly position that
No,
you
no, no.
want to hold him?
Basically, like I do not believe any God, like any
Hmm.
supernatural power. I do not believe in.
Oh.
But I may doubt, like I have a doubt of this yoga meditation. Like there could be some method where people would be like spiritually so awakened, they can go intense deep meditation. So I have a doubt there. So these yogis could have be, not mystically powerful, but they will have a
Yeah,
sense
that's
of
some kind of
understanding
scientific.
the human and all, right? So they will be so calm and composed, like
Hmm.
Buddha, like everyone. So in that sense, I can believe that, but I cannot believe him as a god or something.
Oh, okay, fine. So you don't believe God exists actually?
God
Any
exists?
version of God?
Uh, no,
So
no, no, not exactly.
you don't
Why?
believe or you are
Why?
not aware?
Because no. Why? Because I heard many stories, right? So in which sense I can believe or like I'm not sure. So that's why I
Okay, okay,
cannot
okay,
say there
okay,
is no
okay,
God
sir.
or God. So
No,
that's
no, that's fine.
that.
Okay, fine, fine, got it, got it. I was
Yeah.
thinking that you were a Hindu, so okay, fine. That's fine, fine.
Yeah, like Hindu means
Hmm.
like this is have you seen Avatar movie?
Not the new one. I only seen the first one.
First one, in the new one, like if you seen the entire movie, like the
Hmm.
entire the concept of the movie, like
Hmm, hmm,
we
hmm,
have heard many times, the nature,
hmm.
soul, again
Yes, yes.
soul goes
Hmm.
towards that higher consciousness.
Yes, yes,
Like
yes.
we have heard many times.
So
So,
you
but
accept that?
that's so interesting story, but we cannot believe that.
You
That's
don't
what
accept
I'm.
that kind of Hindu philosophy.
I cannot believe that it is real, but that is so interesting and fascinating. I can hear
Okay,
a
okay.
lot of stories. I can say, okay, this may be true. That's what I can say that, but I cannot claim that
Okay.
it is real.
Hmm. I uh, personally, I feel it is better that we know, like, discuss about whether God exists or not first, and then go into religions. That is one thing to remember. But I think I'll just go on with Christ. I think I will just discuss about Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah. Tell.
The thing is, Jesus Christ claimed that he was God. For as far as our gospel records are concerned, we don't have any extra biblical records, but the Bible says that he claimed that he was God. He was just God in the flesh. He was literally God in the flesh. He was not even an avatar. He was not like simply like taking the form of human beings. He was literally a human being, but he was God. And that's a weird combination. I don't think we can explain that mystery as such. This is a claim that he is making. So, C.S. Lewis puts it this way. There are only three possibilities in that kind of a situation. Either he's lying, he's just a liar, and he's just like lying. We have these liars in India also. Many of the Babas and saints and pastors who claim to be healing and all that, they have lied. So it is possible that Jesus Christ lied in the situation, that he was a God and that he was performing magic tricks or something of that sort. That is the most
Okay.
common, question that the Jews also took up. Many of the Jews also thought he was a liar, and he was someone trying to do some kind of magic tricks and all that. He was always called as a magician. I'm not sure if you're aware of it. The Jews always called him as a magician trickster. That's how they called him. So that is one
Okay.
option. Second
Yeah.
option is that he was a lunatic. He was not at all in a clear state of mind, and he was a maybe psychiatric patient. He was going to be a god, and so on. That is one possibility, right? And the third
Okay.
possibility is that what he said was true. It is possible that whatever he was claiming was actually true. So these three possibilities are there. There are also many other possibilities. So for the sake of discussion, we can have it at these 3 points.
Okay.
Do you have any questions at this point, like liar,
Yeah.
lunatic,
Like
or God?
the other possibilities, like someone could have written like he is doing miracles
Yes,
in
that's
that
also
book.
part of the liar. That is also part of the lying thing. The people who are
Like he could
lying.
be a nice person. He could
Hmm,
be doing some good things in that society, teaching
hmm,
peace and
hmm,
all. But some
hmm.
person using that miracles and all, so he can control a large people, a mass of people by saying he is
Yes,
God, and so that that society would be in fear of him or with love of him, with doing minimal mistakes.
correct. You are like explaining very well. Thank you. Nice. Uh, one of the thing is that the Israelite culture, the Middle Eastern culture, doesn't allow these kind of people actually. Whenever anybody claims that they are God or they are prophet of God, they will test them out and they will kill them off. That's the usual thing. That is what happened to Jesus also. Even recently, like just a few decades ago, there was a person in Arabia, in the Middle East portion, who claimed that he was a next prophet of Allah, and within few months that person was nowhere to be found. I don't know whatever happened to him. So this is the culture that we have in the Middle East. So right, you're getting the difference between the culture in India and in the Middle East, right? Are you able to understand the difference?
Yeah,
In
yeah, I
India,
can
if you can
understand.
claim to be
Okay,
a
okay.
god and you can.
I have one question. But in I like you said another prophet of Allah, right?
Yes.
But in that book only they wrote that Prophet Muhammad is the last messenger, so you should not believe any other
Yeah, yeah,
messengers.
yeah.
They wrote in the
Yeah,
book itself.
yeah, that's the reason why they killed them off.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's
So
the reason they kill them.
no,
If they haven't written in that sense, so again they could also believe him.
there are actually lot of laws in the Old Testament and New Testament which says like you have to fulfill these things for you to be called as a god. In India, like even Nityananda claims to be, the avatar of Shiva. You are aware of that fellow, right? Nityananda.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the reason why he claims that he is avatar of Shiva is because he has some mole on the nose or something like that. That is the kind of claim
Yeah,
that he makes. I don't know where it is
yeah,
written in the scriptures or something, but it's a kind of claim that he makes. But in the Old Testament stories, what they say is that anyone who makes a prediction and it doesn't come to pass, right? Someone claims to be a prophet and he says something will happen, it doesn't happen, that person should be stoned to death. The Old Testament culture is like that. If whatever somebody claims something and he doesn't prove his claim, they should be stoned to death. That's a harsh punishment that they give. So the culture is totally different. We cannot say that it is the same, whether it is in the new present Middle East or in the first century Middle East or in India. We can see this particular cultural difference as far as Middle East is concerned and India is concerned. So anyone who claims to be I am a god, they will be tested in many ways. They will not accept him easily. Many of the people will never accept it. But yet we find that many of the people who are opposing Jesus Christ when he was alive, including Paul who wrote many of the epistles, and James, who was the own brother of Jesus Christ. He did not accept Jesus when he was alive. When he was alive, when he was claiming to be God and Messiah and all that, his own brother did not accept him. But after his death, he accepted. Both these people accepted. Both of them who were opposing Christianity, both of them who were opposing Christ, they were accepting. So it is very unlikely that he was lying as such. It is possible there are a lot of embellishments done, like a lot of parables were added, more details were added, and people were writing stories around Jesus Christ. That is possible. I agree. Right? Many of the stories are like maybe very fantastic, like the multiplication of the food and so on and so forth. It is possible that it never happened, but people were impressed by the goodness of this person called Jesus Christ, and they made up these stories. But nonetheless, the fact is that Jesus Christ claimed that he was God. That is a claim that he definitely made. And when if he's a liar or a lunatic, people will not be willing to give their life for the sake of this person. Both James, Paul, Peter, most of the all the apostles, not all of the apostles, most of the apostles are willing to die for this claim. They claim that Jesus Christ was God and that he resurrected, and they were willing to die for this claim. You can say this is similar to Muslim terrorists who are like bombing themselves and bursting themselves. But the thing is, these people are very close to Jesus. They were seeing what he was doing. They were aware of what statements he had made, and they were willing to die for what they know about Jesus Christ. Are you with me till now, or you are having any questions now? You can ask. I'm sure you will have questions now.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm getting it. You carry on.
Okay, so if there were anyone who knew that Jesus Christ was a lunatic or a liar, it would be those people, right? They were very much close with him, their own family. James was his own brother, and Paul was opposing them, and the other disciples were with him for 3.5 years. So let's say that he was a lunatic. Let's agree that he was a psychiatric patient. He was like having some mental illness. He was having a hallucination and all that. How is it possible for that psychiatric illness to be spread to the disciples? It is not possible, right? And when they claim that Jesus Christ was alive after he died, they were willing to die for that kind of a claim. They claimed that Jesus Christ rose from the dead, and they were willing to die for that. You don't have that kind of a similar experience in any other religion, any other cult. You will rarely find that kind of a situation. There is one situation actually. There is one cult where it actually happened, but we will discuss that later on. But as such, this is not common for a person. If you know something is a lie, you won't die for it. If you know something is not actually true, you won't die for it. You will die without knowing its truthfulness. Are you with me? If you know
Yeah,
something is
yeah.
true or if you don't know something is true or false, you will die for it. You will think that it is true and die. That's what terrorists are doing. People who die, bomb and die, they will think that if they die, they will go to heaven. They will get some mercy. So they
Yes,
don't
yes,
know
they
whether it
are.
is true or
Yeah.
false. But in this case, they were with Jesus. They knew what he was doing, and they were still willing to die for him. So this is something that we should think about. I'm not saying you should just convert because of this one particular issue, but I think you should consider their claims seriously. That's all I'm saying. You should take the book of Matthew, Luke, John, and take that seriously. Read what they were saying. They were willing to die for that, writing that book. So we should be taking it seriously, at least what they were trying to say from that.
Okay.
So that is all I think I want to do. I don't think I want to convince you that Christianity is true and all that. Seriously, Jesus
No, no,
Christ
no.
claimed that he was
I
God.
have one question. Uh, Jesus said himself that he's a God. So that's what you're saying, right?
Not that he did not say that exact words actually. He said he was the Son of God. He was one with God, and so many statements. Muslims say this
Okay.
statement. Like, where did
Look,
Jesus
okay.
say that he was God?
How can we know that he's actually saying that? Because everything is written, right? We cannot know that
Yes, yes, yes.
actually Jesus said or not.
Yes, sir. It is definitely possible that it is all false. I agree that. I agree that Christianity is false,
Yeah.
could be false. Everything that happened was false. But the thing is, it is not plausible. It is not. The evidence is in support of Christianity. I feel we should consider at least honestly consider it, the evidence.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Like
think,
another question.
have you read the Bible?
No, no, no. I
You would have
haven't
read the
read
Bible.
the Bible. No, no, no.
Oh, okay. Um, I think you could at least like read in Wikipedia or something, know what kind of a person Jesus Christ was and all that. So one thing I feel personally very attracted to this person of Jesus Christ is that there are very many gods. Maybe they were all really gods. Maybe Rama was a god, maybe Krishna was a god, and all of them are avatars of God. Um,
Okay.
but none of these gods are so-called gods and saints said that they want to actually save the sinner. They were always trying to, like go and destroy the other mix, go and destroy those who are toughest, those who are like against God. I'm going to go and kill them. They're going to finish off them. I'm going to teach them a lesson. That's the kind of attitude that most of these people are having. But in the case of Jesus Christ, I feel it is very unique in this case that God took the responsibility upon him to rectify our mistakes, whatever mistakes that I don't think there is any one of us who can say that we are living without any mistakes. We would have lied, we would have spoken some kind of hatred, we would have had some jealousy, something would have happened. So we can't say that we are a perfect human being. So in that kind of a situation, there was only one God that I can think of in this situation. You can even put up all the mythological stories also. You put Thor, Odin, everything you can add up. I don't know. I have studied most of these cases actually. I have at least studied the stories alone. I don't see any of those gods actually like putting an effort to take care of the weak, the sinner, those who are downtrodden. I don't see that kind of a picture. Do you have that kind of picture in Hinduism? Maybe you would have read in Hindu mythology, right? Is there any god who saves the sinner? Someone who's committing sin, who's a rapist, who's a murderer, is going to be on change that person, make him corrected. It might be
Okay.
that,
Like
right?
yeah, I have a doubt here. Uh,
Okay.
like why should some other person
Okay, sir.
like if we are doing sins, right? Then it's
Why
our
should he die for our sins? Yes.
responsibility. It's our responsibility to rectify
Mm,
it,
mm, mm.
or else it's our responsibility to get punished.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like
Yes, sir.
somehow we should like it's our total responsibility, right? If we are doing a mistake,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
like
Definitely,
why
this is
should
a valid
other
question. Why?
person bear it?
Yes. The thing is, if you are a father and your son is, having some kind of an issue, will you not sacrifice yourself? At least you will sacrifice some money, you will sacrifice your money, your time, or something to go and save him. Will you do that? Is that immoral or something? Let's say that
No,
you
no, not
and that
actually.
is what is happening in this situation actually. God, who is seeing us in an like in a disabled position. We cannot save ourselves. We are not able to really like repay for the sins that we are committing. So he is taking it as a responsibility on himself to correct our mistakes. So this is, some
Yeah.
people call
Like
this as immoral.
how can he correct our mistakes? Like if we if see if we done a rape, if I was a rapist,
Yes, yes,
then what happens is my mind is fully corrupt here, right?
yes, yes, yes.
So I should change my mind to become a normal human being.
Yes.
So it takes
That is
time.
definitely there.
Like
Karma is still definitely there. You will definitely suffer the consequences of your action. There is no restitution for that. The Bible speaks of restitution also. Whenever you are, when you repent and you change from your past life, you should actually like recompensate for what you are doing. If you are like murder someone, you have to like go and compensate for that, or you should go and submit to the prison and all that. That the principle is always there. But the change of heart is something we have to do. That is definitely there. The thing is, the past sins has to be rectified. By accepting Jesus Christ, I'm not going to become like I was a rapist yesterday. Now I'm not a rapist. I'm still a rapist, but I'm saved from that, from the punishment that is going to be given to me. Maybe I will not be saved from the law. I will have to be put in jail and probably hanged for my crimes. But
yeah, like
before God, I will be rectified. I can't hear you, sir.
so hello,
Yes, yes.
hello. However,
Yeah, I can hear you.
if there is evidence that if I was a rapist, then I will be in a jail, right? So I will have the punishment.
Yes, yes.
So, like, where is like, how come Jesus come in this situation? I
No,
couldn't
there is
understand.
nothing physical happening there. Yeah, there is nothing physical happening here. Is that what you are explaining?
Okay.
Some sort of physical change to happen?
Okay, then what is the
Uh,
change occurs in me if I believe that he could be like he can rectify my mistake?
the theological implication is that God will, change our heart slowly over a period of time. He will rectify our sinful mindset, and He will change it over a period of time. It's not going to happen overnight. And also, ultimately, when you are going to stand before God, the Bible speaks about the seven and health concept. When you are going to stand before God, God will be like recompensate for our sins, and He will accept us into His kingdom. I feel I am a universalist. It's a term which denotes that I will accept that everybody will be accepted into the kingdom of God through the blood of Jesus Christ. Am I making clear? Am I being clear here?
Okay, okay.
I feel
So,
I feel by the blood of Jesus Christ, I think everyone will be saved ultimately. Somehow, God will forgive our present sins and the ignorance, and He will accept us all into His kingdom. That is what I believe.
okay, so he will forgive me only if I believe him. Otherwise, he will not forgive me.
It depends on how much you know about God, sir. If you know everything about God, you know clearly that Jesus Christ is God, and yet you reject Him. It's a hard issue. It will be a difficult issue. If you're not aware, like our forefathers, they were not aware. God will be very merciful to them. God is definitely going to be merciful to them. He will be merciful to you also. I don't, as he said, I am a universalist. I think it is possible to say that we will all be in the presence of God someday. It is possible.
Okay,
Most of the Christians
okay,
don't
then
accept this. If you go and ask
okay. Okay, if this thing like if someone could take advantage of it, so whatever I do, there will be a
a
rectification by God, right? So if someone could take advantage over it, and if they commit a mistake daily, in every minute, they're committing a mistake. So what's the point here then?
as I said, it is going to be a long process of time, sir. Not just today, for the lifetime, entire lifetime, and in entire eternity, we're going to be changed over a period of time. That is one thing. And second thing is, God knows what we're going to do in the future. So you cannot actually be fooling with God. It's not going to be possible. That won't work with Him. If you're going to be like, say sorry to God today and again do the same thing again and over and over, He definitely knows what you're going to do, and He knows the sincerity of your heart. You and I won't be knowing that. He may not be aware, but He will be aware whether we are sincere in our repentance, in our changing, and all that. And He will decide based on that. Judgment is not something that we can decide. I don't think how God will judge. I don't really know. But God will know who's doing right thing and who's the wrong person. I think we can agree
Okay.
on that. God is
Oh,
omnipotent, omniscient. He knows everything about the future. So He will be aware of who will be like, stay till the end and who is fooling around and everything. I think it's very easy for Him to know.
Okay, then like one question, if suddenly if we are going to the past at the time of Jesus Christ, suppose
Yes, sir.
just think in this way, uh, like if Jesus Christ was not there, suppose you think that
Okay.
if this person is not there
Yes.
at that
Yeah.
time in Israel,
Yes. Yes. Okay.
okay, then what could be like all the Christians at this present situation? Like
They all
we
been
can
lied to. They're all
what?
fooled. That's what it means. They've all been
Yeah,
fooled. That's what it means.
yeah. So ultimately, it's our belief that this man could have been born in Israel, and this man could have been God, and this man could rectify our mistake. It's our belief,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes, sir. Definitely, there is some belief issue. There's no way that you can be absolutely certain about these issues. No,
Yeah.
but one point I would like to clarify here is, as far as the historical data is concerned, we can be certain that Jesus Christ existed. As a person, he definitely existed. As a human being, he definitely existed. There is no doubt about that. You can argue about whether he's God or whether he claimed to be God and all that, but he definitely existed. That is not a disputed issue. You can agree on that. You can take that as a word.
Okay.
He definitely
Okay.
lived. Historians are actually like agreeing on that. Bart Ehrman, Gerd Ludemann, Maurice Casey, many of the atheist agnostics also they accept that the evidence is sufficient to say that the person existed. Someone called Jesus Christ
No,
existed, and the Christianity
actually,
arose from it.
yeah. If we search in YouTube, then like there'll be a lot of videos like yes, he existed, and there'll be other videos also he's not existed.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they will be in that case. They'll take evidence from
No, no,
that, and they'll say that he's not existed. And other
no,
videos,
no,
they'll
not like
say
this,
they'll
sir.
take evidence, and they'll say it is existed.
Yes, sir. There
Yes.
are few channels like Myth Vision and all that. They say that Jesus Christ never existed. Also, the person called Alchemist, he was an ex-Christian. These two people are the famous people who say that Jesus Christ did not exist. If you go to historians, people who are working in history departments in all over the world, if you ask them, up to 90% of the people will accept Jesus Christ existed. And up to 60 to
Okay.
70% of them accept that some of the details in the Bible are true. They will not accept the whole Bible, obviously. Some of the details in the Bible are true. At least to that extent,
Okay.
we can be certain. We can
Okay.
argue
So
about whether
on
God
this,
is God or not.
yeah. Let us keep that yes is existed. Okay.
Hmm.
So on basis of this, how can we know that people who follow Christianity, they will
Okay.
be moral enough in this society? Like anything we do, like any theory, any religion, what they focuses is the person should be a moral guy in this society, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Hmm. I don't
Yeah.
think
So
this
if
is a
he's
model.
committing mistakes, if he's committing sins, if there is some rectifying God, so how can be he moral? How can
Again,
he
as I
ethical?
was saying, this is something about sincerity of the person, sir. Whether there is a God or not, whether you believe in Christianity or not, you will maintain certain degree of morality in society, right? If you're not moral, you will not be in the society. You can't live in the society properly. Do you accept that? Even if you're an atheist, you should follow some morals, right? You can't be like amoral.
Yeah, yeah.
The Bible is not specifically talking about some kind of morality. Right? Many people argue about this, like, no, the Bible gives moral codes and all that. It doesn't give much of moral codes, not even compared to, the Vedas or the Manusmriti or anything. They have very little moral codes. What they have is like generalized codes, like how you should consider other human beings, how you should treat your wife and husband, how you should be behaving in the church. These kind of things are there. It doesn't give a whole picture of what morality is and all that. So you are saying, like, what is the use in following Christianity? Is that what your question is? I'm not able to get the question properly. Can you repeat again? Sorry.
No, yeah, my question is, uh, like if there is a religion, they only
Okay.
focuses upon the set of rules and all, and they focuses on the Christian, like in that group should be a moral and ethical. They will do right. So in
Okay.
Christianity,
If you're going to be
people
forgiven for
believe that
all your sins, they will continue in their sin. That's the thing.
yeah.
Again, it is not necessary. Say it depends a lot on a number of factors like society and so on and so forth. There was a time when the Christians were extremely immoral during the Middle Ages. They were like practicing barbaric wars. They were doing witchcraft, witch hunting, and so on and so forth. So
Yeah, see, like I'll
anyway,
give
we
you
will
an
be
example.
comparisons.
Like
Okay, sir.
one question. I'll give an example. There are take two brothers, two Christian brothers, and they're
Okay.
fighting for a land, piece of land. So they're
Okay.
fighting like it is my land, it is his land. After his
Okay.
father died, his father
Okay. Okay.
is like he did not claim that his like these two brothers like how much part of the land will go. So these two
Okay.
are every time fighting for that piece of land. So these two
Okay.
are believing in Jesus Christ that this land should come to me, this land should come to me. So they're believing in
Mm,
that way.
mm, mm,
So finally, this
mm.
land goes in one brother. So
Okay.
he thinks that yes, Jesus Christ is there. So and the other guy thinks that oh, Jesus Christ like he does not like he has no love on me. He will think right.
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
in which case this could be true.
Mm. It is very common for the Indian Christians, I mean, Christians in general, to see at God as some kind of a genie. They will see that he will just answer our prayers. You can ask him for money and he will give money, or you can give money to the pastor and it will multiply and come back in in some format. And these kind of ideas are very common in the Christian people, but that is not biblical at all. The Bible doesn't speak about anything about like you ask God and He will give you something. Even Jesus Christ, when He was about to be crucified, He said, "If it is possible, don't let me get crucified." He was supposed to be God. He knew this was going to happen. Even at that point, He was saying like, "No, if it is possible, don't let me get crucified. Save me from this crucifixion, from this painful death." But even then, He would say, even then it's okay, let me just do what your will is, whatever you want me to do, let it happen to me. That is what is Christianity, sir. It is not about asking for God for some favor and he will do it for you. He is not going to do, actually. He will mostly not do. You're going to ask God for something, he is not probably going to do that. You will do according to his will, and he will expect you to like submit to him and accept what is your lot in life. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
this is probably not very easy to accept, but that's the Christian gospel. Same with Hinduism also.
okay.
Many of the Hindus are like that too. They will accept their lot in life. They will do their best. That's how their life goes on, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like presently, like mostly all the Hindus, like they were in this way only, like just praying God to get this and that
Mm,
and all. Like
mm, mm,
basically, the foundation is not in that way. Like base, like overallly, like if I say Hinduism is based more much upon Adi Shankaracharya said, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So on his philosophy only, like Advaita concept, like basically like
Okay.
everything is a God.
God.
So like actually it's a more deeper concept. So if we
Yes, sir.
observe carefully, if we understand it properly, then we can
Mm,
have that okay, why he has said that like everything is a God.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Suppose
Yes.
in our like in our life, there will be a crucial time where we need so much of money. We need
Okay.
a little amount of money, like that's a crucial period in our life to buy
Okay.
something or to buy some medical things and all. Okay, so
Okay.
at that time, the most important thing in our life is only money, some 1,000 rupees and or something. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so at that moment of time, suddenly in a sky, if some person appears, he claims that he's a god. Okay,
Okay.
and in another at that time only, if some person beside he gave you a 1,000 rupees note.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so at that moment of time, our need is only that 1,000 rupees of note, not God
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
to
Okay.
exist.
Okay.
So that money is
Okay.
only a God at that time.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Suppose if we are going in a forest, okay,
Okay.
there is suddenly a snake bite happened to us.
Okay.
Okay, there in that forest there will be some people, right, who cures us.
Okay.
Suddenly a person came and he cured us. So he's a daughter type of thing in that forest. So at
Okay.
that time, that person is a god to us.
God was. Yes. 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 True,
Yeah.
sir. True.
So in
Okay,
that
sir.
way, like in some cases, we need only a little amount of food in our life to survive the
Yes.
next
Yes.
day.
Yes.
So at that time, the food is a god.
Okay.
We will
Yes.
say
Yes.
that annam parabrahma sarupani we say. So the food is a
Okay.
god. Not
Okay, sir.
every time,
Okay.
only at that hunger time,
Ah, ah,
it
okay.
is more like which is useful to us, that is a god. So that's the concept. Actually, it's
You are
more deeper
right.
concept.
It is logical only, no? What you are saying is right only.
Yeah, so in that
How
sense,
you
if we
explain
see,
it, right?
everybody is a god. Like how, like, see, if we see
Mm.
Satya and we see,
Mm.
he has some followers.
Okay.
To that followers, they think that he's a god. Not like in that sense.
Yes,
They'll
yes, yes.
think
I
that
understand.
okay, Satya and is
Yes,
super and all.
yes, yes.
So every person, everything in this nature has some credibility. So if
Yes.
we
Okay.
observe carefully, we can see God in him or God in that particle.
Mm. Yes. Yes, yes.
So that
Yes.
is what he says.
Okay, sir. Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
The other one is Dvaitam, as I said, like a relationship between a God and me, like a Krishna and me or Rama and me.
Mm. Mm.
So I will be a full devotee of him.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in that sense,
Okay.
yeah. See, like,
So
have
can
you heard
this?
about all the stories of? Have you heard like all Rama and Mahabharata? Like, have
I
you read
know the
any time
story,
or have you
sir.
watched any serial?
I know the story a little bit, sir. I am reading Ramayana to some extent, but not fully. You can go ahead and tell me,
Yeah.
sir, what it is.
Okay. So in
It is
Tamil
nicely
Nadu,
written only. I have no issues actually. I mean, it's a good book only. I
yeah, yeah. Actually, the not in Christianity, not problem in like there is no problem in Christianity, but the like pastors will be there, right?
yes, sir. You
Uh,
don't need to follow the Christians, sir. Don't worry about the Christians. You follow about Christ and you go on with that.
yes, no, like actually, what happening now is
Okay.
the pastors, like whoever there, like what they are trying to do now is like they will teach about Jesus Christ and also they'll convert. It's okay. It's not a problem to converting a
Okay.
Christianity. But what they do
Okay.
is slowly they they're saying like, don't take prasad from Hindus. Prasadam we will have, right?
Yes, yes,
Temple
yes.
prasad.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is nice.
They will compare Jesus Christ with Krishna and Rama. They will say some words like some comparison they'll do, and they'll say that Jesus Christ is great. Like this, overallly, they are
It's a
trying
part of
to build
insecurity.
more. Okay, what?
It's a part of insecurity. Some of the pastors are insecure about their religion. Say they want to put down other people for the sake of praising their God. It's wrong only. It's definitely wrong.
Yeah.
We
If there is a book
don't
and we
be
can
changed.
follow that book, it's okay. But what they're doing is they'll collect 10%, like they will say Dasma Bhagam, right? 10% of money they'll
Yes,
give pastors and all. So that's
yes.
what going now. As especially in India, like
Oh,
people like more having a beliefs in God. So
okay.
they're eventually like more they're converting to Christianity, like listening all these speeches and all. So conversion is okay, but after converting, like all these things are happening. So if we
You think many
celebrate
people are converting
Deepavali,
now?
hmm?
Many people are converting now. Is that true?
Yeah, many people there is a gradual increase. There is
Oh,
so much increase in converting in this all. Because why are they
oh,
converting means they'll say that you'll go to heaven after believing Jesus Christ. So they will
okay,
say
sir.
all those things and they'll convert. Like what happens is uh, if we remind a person in our mind like thousand
Okay,
times,
okay,
someday in our dream or not, that person will come to us and dream.
okay, okay, sir. Yes.
So if we say Rama, 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 in
Mm.
some other time I'll like if I close and like if I close my eyes and I can see Rama in my dream. So that
Okay,
happens.
okay, okay, sir.
So I think in that way, some persons will say that okay, God came in our dream and he said like we should construct a temple here, and we have to do it. Like many temples in India, like recent in 19th century, like many small temples, all those temples have built in this way only. There will be some
Oh, I
person
see.
and he
Okay.
will say that
Oh,
God appeared in my mind in my dream. He said we should construct Shiva temple here, so he constructed there.
I see.
So
Okay,
many
sir. I was
times
not
it
aware.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
yeah.
What if it is true? What is history?
That's what I'm
I
saying,
don't
right?
know.
Uh, Yeah, I have done Vipassana meditation like in you
Okay.
do have you know about Vipassana? Do you know about it?
No, sir. What is it?
No,
If
actually
you
it's a
have time, please
meditation
tell me.
technique.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's a meditation technique given by Buddha.
Okay.
So there I have cleared my mind everything like what is God, what is not God.
Mm.
So they gave me like so much clarity of my understanding.
Okay. Oh.
So from there, like before going to Vipassana, I'm also like I also used to believe Krishna, Rama, all these should be gods and all.
Okay.
But there, okay,
Okay.
I have got some understanding of why, like why is the reason of God is there in this. Like somewhat I understood.
Okay. Fine. So this is part of Hindu Buddhist philosophy, is it? Buddhist
What?
philosophy. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
part of Buddhist theology.
Yeah, like what Buddhism is, the like the core philosophy of Hinduism is Buddhism. That's it. Like
Oh.
if we understand what is Buddhism and all, if we go into deep, it's nothing but a Hinduism, but the core belief of Hinduism. But what you're saying
Okay.
right now is not at all Hinduism. They're just
Mm-hmm.
fear of God. They'll
Mm.
go to temple and they will do all that
Mm.
abhisheka, puja, and everything. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine, sir.
Yes, yes, I have another question. Like in
Okay, sir.
Christianity, they say that no to idol worship, right?
Uh,
Idol worship is wrong.
idol worship in the sense like considering the idol as God is wrong, sir. Not necessarily like no revering an idol or giving some respect to an idol, putting garlands. It's not an issue actually. Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking?
but
If you
yeah, yeah,
consider
like
the
all
idol as
the
God, that is what is wrong.
yeah, but all the Christian pastors and all, like both in English and Telugu, like many of them will show a
Hmm.
line in the Bible and they say idol worship is wrong. But I don't understand. Jesus Christ is the idol there. That plus symbol is also idol. But they say
Yeah,
that idol worship is wrong.
yeah, that's what. No, do the Hindus believe that the idol is God? Literally, is that how they believe? No, I'm just clarifying because you were in Hindu.
No,
That's
no,
why I'm
like
asking.
yeah, yeah. Actual meaning is first of all, if idol will be there, right? So that is
Okay.
not a god. That is only stone. After doing some
Okay.
puja to it, after like there will be some mantras, Sanskrit mantras and all. So
Okay.
then they will believe that God enters to this idol.
Okay.
It's also belief only. See, if
Okay.
that stone is like if it is little broken, then they will take that idol and they will again replace another idol.
Okay. Okay.
In that sense, only that idol, they will say that prana pratishtha, like will putting that God into this with these mantras, and it is a belief that okay, he is there. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah,
In that sense, I think biblically it is not, no, they don't call this as acceptable. Maybe, okay. It's just a belief. Okay, fine. Bible doesn't say
yeah.
that it is acceptable. Okay. We have to disagree on that. Okay.
Okay.
Mm,
Like in Kerala, in Kerala, there are many
okay.
regions where Jesus Christ turned into like a Naga god, meditation god.
No,
Have you seen those temples?
no, I have not heard of it. If you can
No,
send
no.
the link to me,
Search
please
it.
send it to me later on. I'll
Search
see.
in YouTube or Google. You will see that Jesus Christ will
Oh,
turn everything of Hindu gods. Like
oh,
that is like in that area, it is very old. Like
okay.
Christianity came to that Kerala very old, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Third
So
century, yes,
that
yes,
how
right.
it mixed up with this culture, and
Mm.
you will see every type of Hindu god in form of Jesus Christ.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So that's
It's
what I'm saying.
appropriation, I think. Okay, right.
Yeah, yeah. If Jesus Christ born in India, then there will be no Christianity. He will be mixed up all with all these
Mm,
gods.
mm, mm.
That how happened in Kerala.
Agreed,
You
agreed on
can
that.
see
Okay,
images also.
okay,
Yeah. So it's
okay.
totally based on
Fine,
the
okay.
region.
Yeah, definitely. The region definitely plays a role. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that is the reason why Jesus came to Middle East. I mean, if you had come here, you would have been lost. As you said, yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay,
bro.
sir.
Like, do
Next.
you have any other questions?
So we should definitely discuss next time, sir. We should definitely discuss again one more time. So,
Okay.
what would you like me to do? Maybe you can suggest some book to read for me. Maybe I could read some book on Hinduism or something. Maybe you said about the yoga, right? What is that yoga? You can tell me that I can read up about it. Particular
Yoga.
Buddhist, particular
Yeah, there are
Buddhist
many books.
theory that you are reading. You can
Yeah,
message me later
like
on. I will try to read up something.
yeah, yeah. Like, have you seen anything about the yoga, like Surya Namaskaram?
No,
Some
absolutely nothing. I have not been thinking about yoga very much. You can tell me what I can read about it.
Okay, okay. Then I'll message you.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine.
Okay,
If
bro.
you
Okay.
get time, you try to read around like Book of John alone in the Bible, New Testament, if it's possible. If you get time,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
might
yeah.
be
Okay.
interesting. You don't have to take it seriously. You can see what he is saying. Book of John,
Okay,
Gospel of
okay. I
John.
will do it.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Like
Okay, sir.
like
Thank
anything
you.
I can read, but I cannot judge that it is real. That's how it is, right?
No, you don't have to take it real. You just read
See,
what it
if
is
you
saying.
read all those books in Hindus, in all those Puranas, then you'll
Mm,
have a
mm,
total big confusion, which is real, which is not.
mm. Yeah, there's a lot of literatures. I don't know which one to begin and which one to end. Yeah. That's why I
Yeah,
just started reading the Itihas alone, the Ramayana, Mahabharata alone.
yeah, yeah.
Bhagavad Gita
Read
also
them.
now.
Don't, yeah, yeah. Don't consider them as good. Only just
I
read as a
I
fantasy
can't hear
stories.
you.
Then you can get. Yeah, like what I'm saying is, while reading those books, just read them as a fantasy stories.
Okay, okay, okay.
Hello? Yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. I
That's what
understood.
I'm
Understood.
saying.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Nice
Okay,
talking to you,
okay,
sir.
bro.
It's a great
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Thank you, sir. We'll meet
Uh,
again. Thank
Thank you.
you. Good night. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, good night.